Alright, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Alright, looks like everything is under control. Thank you. Let's see. Yes, thank you. My apologies for the delay. I apparently do not know how to stream. Let's see. Yes, hello. Thank you for stopping by as usual. How am I doing? I suppose I'm alright. Today has been fairly uneventful. I've been a little nervous about doing such a stream, but after a while of preparation, I think I managed fairly well. Also, I asked this before, but that was before I started streaming, apparently. I hope everything sounds okay. Please let me know if the volume is off anywhere. I noticed in past streams the volume is always quite low, so hopefully this is a little better. Thank you. So far today has been alright, so I'd like to hope that I can keep it up. Any plans for today? As of right now, not really. Not being at work is a pretty good start. Work had me very tired last night, so I am happy to just have a day to relax. Let's see. Thank you. I'm glad it looks okay. It did take me a minute, but I think it came out fairly alright. I will be sure to post a clear version of it once the stream is over. Here's some cake. Thank you. I do plan to make something. I'm not sure if it will be ready before the day is over, but I figured I might spoil myself a bit. Oh, but I said on Twitter, if you do have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I do have a list of rules in the description, but other than those, it is free reign. Ah, well, welcome to my first stream. I have not done too many, but this is the first time I have personally been in a stream, so I am a bit nervous. Yes, I'm ashamed to admit that I have done quite a bit of late night baking before. Oh, what is my favorite type of cake? I have quite plain tastes. Let's see. I think I think I would have to say vanilla. But in terms of any sort of pastry, I enjoy vanilla, strawberry, and caramel. But only if the strawberries are real. I do not like artificial flavoring. Can you have a hug? I'm not sure how to convey that over audio. How about this? I forgot about that. Yes, I suppose I did promise, huh? for context, pretty much every stream I've had, he has asked me to pronounce microwave as that. And I've been putting it off for a few months. I'm not even sure how you would like me to save that. Is like, would do you mean microwave? Is that how you want me to say that? I do hope you are pleased, because I'm not doing that again. Hello, welcome. What songs do I like to sing the most? That is. Uh, I suppose I prefer, well, fairly gentle or soft songs. I don't like to sing very loud. Usually I tend to hum to myself. I don't even usually sing at full volume anyways. I'm glad you were pleased. Hello, welcome. I notice I talk with my hands quite a bit. I've done a lot of hand motions in the little bit of time I've been streaming, yet I know nobody can see me. What's my favorite thing to cook or bake? Well, for regular cooking, I would say, let's see. I suppose I enjoy making simple meals, things that aren't too complex. I don't like to cook things that have too much care involved. Let's see. And then overall, I don't really fry foods very often either. I tend to stick to very clean meals so that I can eat with silverware and not use my hands. As for baking, of course, I enjoy cakes the most, but I also enjoy making crepes and just general breakfast foods. When did I get into knitting? I haven't tried knitting in a very long time, but as I've mentioned before, I spent a lot of time with Miss Beckett, and she enjoyed knitting. There was a point where I had attempted to pick it up just by watching her. I noticed that wasn't very good for me. I'm not very good at using two needles at once. It can be a little too confusing for me. But then she told me about crocheting, and I decided to get into that. So I think I've been doing it since about college, I think. Favorite pastime? Of course, crocheting and singing. Baking specifically. I enjoy making sweets. And then I do a lot of reading in my spare time as well. Typically, I stick to fiction, but nothing too dark. I also like reading informative books, like textbooks and articles. Can you give me a birthday hug? I'm not sure if I'm the best at giving hugs, but if you would like to give one, I suppose I don't mind. Favorite flower? That's a good question. I enjoy a lot of flowers, actually. Let's see. I think if I had to pick one, I might say bluebells, which further encourages the whole picking blue over red, even though red is my favorite color, but you know. I don't know how well I would do for the group hug. I already don't like hugs as it is, but I don't mind them from a special person. Coffee or hot chocolate? Definitely hot chocolate. I tend to drink hot chocolate year round. I do not drink coffee. It is too strong for me. If I were to drink coffee, I would just add a ton of sugar to it anyways. Do I like tea? Let's see. I think the only type of tea I would drink is just regular iced tea. So I don't really do hot drinks outside of hot chocolate. Oh, what is my favorite thing about being an eye doctor? I like that question. Well, I mentioned before, for the longest time as I was growing up, I had one pair of eyeglasses, and that was it. So my vision was not the greatest. I wasn't taken care of very well, so I never got the chance to see an eye doctor. But I never realized how important it was to be able to see one until I didn't have any opportunities to myself. So I enjoy being able to give people the bare minimum of what they should have, and that is just to be able to see what's in front of them. Plus, I also enjoy seeing how people react when they get a pair of glasses that fits them perfectly, and they realize how much they've been missing out. Spring, winter, summer, or autumn. I would say winter. I enjoy the cold very much. But I do enjoy most seasons. I do have to say, though, summer is a little dreadful. Not just for the heat, but because of, well, all the kids are out of school. Tends to be much more crowded in public spaces in the summer, and I'm not too fond of that. Plus, towards the end of summer, leading into autumn, that is when all of the kids go back to school, and everybody needs eye checkups. Do I celebrate any holidays? Not particularly. I've never really had any reason to, and my family never really celebrated any either. I think the only holiday I would say I celebrate is New Year's. And then, up until recently, I started celebrating Valentine's Day. But other than that, I would say I'm not sure if there's anything I celebrate in particular. The yes, the yes, I am not too fond of that machine. It's a little upsetting. It can also be very frustrating to use, especially on children. But I do wish there were easier ways to go about that. Though I know there is a way to, decline it. It's discouraged, but you can say that you don't want it. But it can be a bit risky doing so. Have I tried? I don't think I have. I'm not sure what that is. Feel free to describe it for me if you would like. What's it like falling in love? That's a difficult question. If the feelings I have are true, I would say it's quite scary. It is pretty much a mix of every emotion put into one, and it can be a little startling, especially if you don't understand it. For the longest, I didn't really understand the feelings my own, and I can't say if I still do yet. But I think once you get past the scary, vulnerable part, it's not so bad. Do I like waffles? I don't mind them. I prefer pancakes. I feel bad. English is the only language I know. You will cook for me. Well, I'm not particularly fond of eating other people's cooking if I don't see it made, so I'm sorry, but I would have to help you. But I will only eat it if you will eat it with me. Do I prefer cats or dogs? Cats, of course. I don't mind dogs, but they do get a bit unpredictable at times, and they can be quite loud. I'm not too fond of that. They are cute, though. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? I do not really eat pizza in general, so I'm not sure how that would taste. I also don't really eat pineapple either. But I assume it has to be somewhat decent if a good amount of the population does it. Can't be that strange, can it? Then again, I would not really know. What is my favorite animal? I would have to say cats are my favorite, but I do enjoy many small pets. I also like ferrets, guinea pigs, and hamsters. I think I mentioned at one point. Outside of pet animals, I think my favorites are pandas and maybe cows. Hello, welcome. Opinion on mochi. Mochi is very difficult to make. It is very tedious and incredibly messy. I'm not a fan of getting anything on my hands, let alone food, when I'm cooking it. So, and when you're making mochi, you have to use your whole hand, and it gets everywhere. It is insanely difficult to clean off of your hands and off of dishes. I don't mind the taste. You know, it is fairly plain. Makes for a good snack. But making it and having to touch the cakey surface is a little upsetting. Food made by another person tastes better. I'm not sure if I would know. I never trust anyone to cook for me. Something about eating food I did not see prepared makes me a little anxious. I tend to make it myself. But I suppose I can make a few arrangements for that. What type of bird scares me? I'm assuming that is in reference to Saga's last stream. I would say pretty much any bird that is bigger than my hand is a bit unsettling. I don't mind birds. I like looking at them, but I would not get any more than a few meters close to them. Sweet or savory? I would have to say sweet. There are a lot of savory foods that I enjoy, but I would be lying if I said I didn't bake. sweets more than cooking regular meals. Sour or bitter. Ugh, I'm not a fan of either of those things. I think the only bitter food I will eat would be chocolate, and even that is a bit risky. I don't eat anything that's too bitter, and I certainly won't eat anything that's sour. How is our ice cream kitten doing? Sherbet is alright. He is not home at the moment, but he is doing his wandering around as usual, probably taking a nap somewhere in a park. But all in all, just doing as he usually does. What is my opinion on rings? I do find them to be very pretty. I like them as an accessory. I do have quite a few, but I never wear them because of the gloves that I always have on. I used to wear rings underneath my gloves, just for, you know, sentimentality of it, knowing that I was wearing them even if you couldn't see them. But, I don't know. Wearing rings means it catches the light usually, and that grabs people's attention. So overall, I don't really wear them, but I do like them a lot. What type of gloves are they? They are fairly thin fabric gloves. I don't like the way leather feels on my hands. It's a very thin fabric too. Anything else feels odd and is a little too stiff for what I do. Do I like puns? They are interesting. I feel like the best ones tend to be ones that aren't planned, accidental ones, ones you make without noticing them. But I think they add a little bit of fun to a conversation. Do I? I suppose you mean from static if I shock people. Not too often. It tends to be a problem I have to deal with more in the winter. But it does happen occasionally. Usually I try to be cautious about that. I tend to touch a surface I know I will shock beforehand before I have to touch somebody else if I have to. It gets very complicated when dealing with my patients. What kind of casual clothes do I enjoy? That is a bit of a tough question considering I hardly own any casual clothes. Most of my wardrobe consists of dress shirts. I I used to wear a lot of sweater vests. I don't do so anymore. But aside from that, I would say just plain long sleeve shirts or sweaters. But even around the house, casual for me means some sort of denim. Where is my favorite place to go out on a date? Well, considering I don't leave the house very often, unless I have to, I prefer to spend my time just in my living room. I find it to be more sentimental that way. But, if I went anywhere else, I might go for a walk somewhere with someone. Maybe go to a park or go through a forest trail, maybe. But overall, there are just too many things for me to risk, and I would much rather stay home. But the idea of going to an art gallery does seem a bit fun. They tend to be fairly quiet overall, a very respectful area to be. Do I like punk aesthetics? Well, it is a bit embarrassing to admit, but I definitely used to have more, well, loud tastes when I was younger. As of right now, I tend to keep things quite muted. But I like to wear eyeliner. I do not wear any makeup as of right now. I think I thought about wearing eyeliner once when I was younger, but I had a bit too much trouble because my vision was so bad I couldn't put it on. Plus, it's difficult to do so without your glasses anyways. Well, this is the scarf that I made. I believe I gave it to you quite a while ago, back when it was still winter. Though it is not mine, I am still fairly proud of it. I actually made it quite a long time ago. A long time before I gave it to you. I held on to it for a few months, I think. I believe I started making it, and then I would stop, because I would think about giving it to you, and I would get a bit nervous, so I scrapped it entirely. If you made me a bracelet, would I wear it? Probably. I don't wear bracelets very often. I think most of the jewelry I have are rings, necklaces, and earrings. But I would worry about it coming off. Chances are I would probably only wear it in the house. But I suppose any sort of gift given to me, I would likely wear it myself. If not, just put it somewhere where it would be protected. Would I trust someone with doing my makeup? Probably not. Maybe not eye makeup. Anything else might be okay. I don't like the idea of someone being that close to my face. Plus, the feeling of makeup is a little odd for me. I've never done any more than eyeliner, and just the idea of putting any sort of liquid on my face makes me uncomfortable. Do I have a favorite music type? Let's see. Well, generally, I would say I enjoy classic music, slow songs, ballads of that nature. But as for, well, more well-known artists that I listen to outside of classical music. I would have to say my favorite type of music tends to be 60s, 70s, 80s bands and artists. Let's see. Perhaps, let's see if I can list a few. I like Duran Duran, Tears for Fears, Queen, Fleetwood Mac, and then, let's see, those are all groups. Oh, I like Janet Jackson, Phil Collins, and maybe some Madonna. Those are nice earrings. Thank you. I've had it for quite a while, and I don't plan to stop wearing it anytime soon. Ah, you have bracelets inspired by me. Well, I would love to see them. Let's see. Ah, fave cat breed. Fave. Just saying that felt a little odd. I'm not sure if I have a favorite. I enjoy pretty much all cat breeds that aren't made in harmful ways. I do enjoy long hair cats. Ah, but Sherbet is a calico. Why am I so tall? Well, I don't think I'm that tall. I'm just under 6 foot after all. But in comparison to my graduating class, yes, I was quite a bit tall. I was about 5'10" since maybe my first or second year of high school. So I've pretty much been tall for a while. If you need help reaching something high, I will do my best. I try not to put things too high up in my house. I don't like having to reach too far to get to things. But if there is anything you need, I will happily get it for you. Let's see. Oh, hang on. I never really had much of a preference when it comes to appearance. Let's see. As for height, well, that does not really bother me either. Plus, who am I to judge on things like that? I was always the tallest in, well, the general group I was in. And I was always one of the thinnest ones, too. So. Ah, well, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed your time. Rest well. How have I eaten today? Well, I haven't had any full meals today, no. I've kind of had a few snacks. I had some crackers earlier, but that is about it. Do I like holding hands? Very much so. It's odd, though, because it's not something I've ever really done. But I do like the way it feels. Something about it is an interesting mix of intimate and innocent. Unprotected holding hands. Yes, that is still a bit new to me. Touching someone else's hands without my gloves feels a bit odd. But it is something I want to get used to. I really do enjoy the way it feels. Seems some of my neighbors are talking outside. So loud. Yes, they're being quite a disturbance outside. Let's see. Do I like cuddles? I would say so, yes. Again, that's not really something I've enjoyed much until recently. See, back in my first relationship when I did it felt strange. I wasn't fully comfortable with it. Something about it felt dangerous for some reason. But now it's a bit different. It feels more comforting. What's the most difficult thing you've knitted or crocheted? I would say I'm not too good at doing things that are round. I prefer to do rectangular or square things. Things like hats, I'm not very good at. Ah, I don't know why I didn't do that when I first started. Well, thank you to all my darlings who decided to show up today. Let me see. It's been a while since I've had something to drink. there we go. Do I have a nickname? I don't think so. I've never really been addressed with a nickname before, so I've never really thought about it. But if you have any ideas, please feel free to share. Does Sherbet like to bring things back home? Yeah. He likes to find random shiny things that he finds on the street when he's taking walks. He also has a collection of fun sticks he enjoys swinging around in the backyard. Oh, and he also has a collection of rocks in the backyard as well. Well, my answer for cuddling was a bit long. I apologize. The short answer is yes. Though it is still something I'm not used to. Suddenly the idea of being called by a nickname is a little embarrassing. Where did I get Sherbet? I've mentioned before. He was a stray for a while. I came across him while I was still in college. Every now and again, I would stop by to see him, though I didn't talk to him for a long time. I would buy snacks for him and just kind of sit down next to him. After a while, I decided to take him in. Kiwa. Wait, is that supposed to be my name? How old am I today? That is, well, a bit of a secret. But I will at least say that I am older than 26. Kiwi. I'm not sure if I understand that, though. Is that supposed to be a childlike way of saying it? How long did I know Sherbet before I decided to take him in? Let's see. I want to say about a year and a half, maybe. Caramelo or dulce. Let's see. Well, dulce de leche is pretty good, so I suppose I wouldn't mind that. Kiwi because I'm sweet. I don't eat kiwis very often, so I'm not even sure if I can recall what they taste like. Do I like spiders? No, I'm not very fond of any sort of bug or insect. What scares me? Well, I could go on and on about that. I think, generally, I would say crowds, any sort of loud noises, especially sudden ones, especially yelling. And I don't like the ocean or large bodies of water. They do definitely make me uncomfortable. It would take quite a lot to get me to go to a beach. I'm not even sure if I've ever been to one. Knowing you, I'm not sure if I would want to know what that means. You like my hair? That is a strange thing to hear. I suppose I don't mind it myself, but hearing it from another person is a little odd. It is definitely not rough, though. It tends to be softer than it looks. I try to take as good care of it as I can. Honey, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Suddenly, the sweeter they get, the more embarrassing they are. I'm not sure why the idea of being called by a nickname has never crossed my mind until now. And despite that, I always use them myself. Lover boy. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think I would like that. Do I like head pats? Again, that is a bit embarrassing, but I suppose I don't mind them. They're comforting. Can you braid my hair? I feel like that would be difficult with the way it is cut. I feel like it might make things hard having them even. But perhaps one day I will let you try. That nickname is very interesting. But I'm glad you think my voice is calming. It is the least I can provide. Dyeing it like mine? I'm not sure how I feel about that. I hope it turns out better than mine does. Or the way it did when I did it. Do I like being spoiled? Not really. It is a bit overwhelming. I appreciate the thought of it, but somehow the idea of being the center of attention makes me nervous. I'm glad you like it. That's not a compliment I've ever gotten before. You think my eyes are pretty. Thank you. Suppose my eyelashes are quite long. Ah, well, welcome anyways. I did not really have much of a cutoff time, so I don't think I will end the stream anytime soon. Probably won't be as long as Saga likes to have his, but you know. Kiwi. Is that really such a fitting name for me? I don't think I've ever worn anything green before. Would love to spoil me. Well, I suppose I can do my best to take it. Kiwi words are cute. I enjoy them. I like that they look soft and round. You would love to spoil me, huh? Again, that is quite an interesting experience. I can't imagine why you would want to give me that much attention. Spoil or at least give me the eat and sleep more, huh? Well, I can't really say much for the eating part, but I definitely sleep better than I used to. I used to have to take quite a bit of melatonin to be able to sleep at night. I don't really have that problem anymore, though. But I do have to get up quite early to get to work. Forehead kisses. I definitely love giving them. It is a soothing thing to do. I find them cute. As for receiving them, well, it can be a little embarrassing, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy them. I'm not sure if I know what that would mean to be called a lover boy. It doesn't, well, I feel like it could be good or bad, so I don't know how I feel about being called one. Am I kissable? I suppose that is a very bold compliment to give someone. Hand kisses. I definitely enjoy giving them. I feel like it would take a lot of trust for me to let someone do it to me, though. Well, how can I make your experience more enjoyable? I'm not too great at, well, fan service. Husband material, huh? I think that might be a bit much. I'm not sure if you should put that much trust in me. Give me a what? I'm not sure I know what that means. Put a ring on me, huh? I suppose I would not mind a promise ring, but marriage is a bit much for right now. Would I consider any other nickname for, well, my go-tos are definitely darling and dear. Those come very naturally to me. I'm not sure. I feel like anything else might be a bit too embarrassing for me to say. Perhaps, maybe, my love? Well, I don't really have a preference when it comes to gender, but you would like me to address you as Mr. I may. Tap on the nose, huh? That seems harmless enough. I'm not sure I know what that means, mister. Oh, could you wear my glasses? Well, I can't imagine it'd be comfortable. I'm farsighted. Well, I certainly understand that feeling of your heart rate increasing due to a certain person. I can say pretty safely that happens pretty much every time I talk to you guys. Switching glasses, that sounds painful. I've grown so accustomed to my very specific shaped glasses, too. I feel like if I wore anything else, it would be uncomfortable. And that is, not even taking the opposite prescription into consideration. Can I give you another kiss? Sure, here. Ah, another far-sighted person. How neat. Though I can only imagine switching glasses would still be pretty bad. Glasses are the most expensive yet least stolen object. That is an interesting conclusion to come to. I suppose it makes sense, though. You can only do so much with a stolen pair of glasses. But they are obscenely expensive. One of my least favorite things about my industry. Even when your insurance covers it, they can still be quite a lot of money to have to drop at once. I didn't mind my square glasses when I was younger, but at the same time, I didn't really have much of a choice. Once I switched to the circular ones, I realized how much I liked those more. What is my favorite thigh-high socks, I suppose you mean? Um, I don't think I have much of a preference. I enjoy most socks, in general. On someone else, specifically. I just like the way they look. But I do like lace. Lace of any kind of clothes tends to look very pretty. There's a lot of intricate and delicate details that go into it. I enjoy the way it looks a lot. But I suppose long socks are quite nice because there's more material to work with. Yes, that is one of the exciting things about my job. Well, exciting, being used quite loosely. I like being able to find the very specific needs of a prescription. Looked like a librarian. I wonder. I suppose that's not a bad thing, though. But I am also just biased to glasses in general. I find them to be very pretty. Well, I suppose looking timid isn't so much of a bad thing. What did you miss? Not much, I don't think. It's funny though, I came up with a list of questions I thought people might ask. Just so that, excuse me, just so that I had an idea of what, things I would have to talk about. I've gotten through quite a few of them already, too. maid outfit on them. That certainly would be interesting. I suppose I wouldn't mind seeing that. Is there a specific kind of outfit I would like them to wear? Well, of course, I would much rather them just wear clothes that they enjoy, or clothes they're comfortable in. But as for clothes that I like, well, I am always biased to suits, so maybe something of that nature. But perhaps maybe having them wear something of mine. That might be fun. Again, calling me honey seems fairly cute, I think. Still a little embarrassing, though. But I might have to consider calling you sweetheart. I'll think about it. Well, considering I don't really drink alcohol, I suppose drinking apple juice would be fine. Yes. Excuse me. The thought of them wearing my clothes is interesting, to say the least. I'm not sure how comfortable they would be, but I think it would be fun to see. My shirt with shorts. That's a bit enticing. I can't imagine you would want to wear my clothes, though. They are incredibly stiff. But I do have a lot of, well, clothes that I bought that don't really fit, so I suppose those would be fine. They're a bit too big on me, so I don't really wear them. I think that would be a bit surprising to walk in on them wearing my clothes. The something about the thought of that, though, it does make me happy. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Do I mostly have long sleeve shirts? I don't think I own any short sleeve shirts or anything without sleeves. All of my dress shirts have long sleeves. I don't believe I own any shorts either. And as for when it gets hot, I'd rather just deal with it. I can't really handle wearing anything that exposes any skin. Do I ever wear my hair up? Not really. Usually the most I can do is just, well, I try not to lean over a desk too long, so it doesn't usually get in the way. Some date advice from me. I'm not sure if I can help you with that. I can do my best if you have any questions, but ultimately, I wouldn't, well, I wouldn't rely on my answers too hard. I can't imagine they would be that good. Well, you should not put yourself down for the way you look. I know that's a little hypocritical coming from myself, but I don't think that's so much of a bad thing. I think as long as you are taking care of yourself, that is all that matters. Thank you. I'm not sure I've ever been called handsome before. That's an interesting feeling to have. I suppose it fits my clothing style, but other than that, I think I might be a bit too soft. Blueberry. I think somebody has called me that before. Excuse me. Perhaps that is a sign I should be drinking. There we go. Yes, it would certainly be surprising to suddenly see you in my clothes. I wouldn't mind it, but it would catch me off guard. Yeah, actually, my glasses fogging up tends to be quite irritating. Usually I go to take off my glasses the moment I enter a room that's a significantly different temperature, but sometimes I do forget, and I'm immediately blinded. Big spoon or little spoon? Well, I know it's not an answer, but if I'm lying down next to somebody, I would like to be facing them. It's just a little more comfortable for me. Feels more intimate that way. But if I had to pick, I suppose maybe... I guess it depends on my mood. I think being held from behind would be nice if I need the comfort. Yeah, my pants are a little odd. They are also quite stiff. Do I like art? Do I have a favorite artist? Well, I don't think I have a favorite artist in particular. But I suppose I enjoy, let's see, I like landscape paintings, but I think my favorite kind of paintings are ones of, well, environments that don't actually exist anywhere. Having to come up with something yourself entirely, that's fascinating to me. Though I can say very, very surely that Saga is a very interesting person, and I'm not very fond of him. He uses his abilities for quite interesting prompts. Carry or be carried. I don't know how I'd feel about being carried. It seems like it would be uncomfortable. I wouldn't mind carrying you, though. I suppose my go-to would possibly be bridal. Though, that is assuming that I would even be able to pick you up at all. I'm not that strong. Yes, I guess I don't have a favorite cuddling style, aside from just being able to face you. Anything else, well, just depends on the day. Abstract art is nice. It is interesting to see what people can come up with. No, there are, well, multiple kinds of abstract art. But I do like very loose paintings. I like when they're not too concrete, or when they're not too focused on looking real. Do I do any art? Not usually. I tend to stick to crocheting. I'm not very good at drawing. Painting seems like it might be fun, but it can also get quite messy, so I haven't really made any attempt to. No, that seems like probably too heavy for me. Let's see. I think I can pick up Sherbet, but he is significantly shorter than I am. I know a little bit about playing the piano. I can read basic sheet music, but that is about it. Yeah, 90 wouldn't be too bad. I want to say I can carry my own weight, but I think if I tried to figure out how much I weighed, I'd be a little disappointed. Yeah, it is embarrassing to admit, but I am quite light, despite how tall I am. I'm... I don't know how easy it would be to carry me, given how tall I am, though. I feel like it might be a bit awkward, but in terms of how much you would struggle, probably not much. Do I like tea? Not hot tea. I like iced tea, sort of. I will drink it if it is there. But other than that, I would say hot chocolate is my go-to. And water, of course. Uh, I don't know how I feel about being fed. That seems a bit stressful. I have quite a wide range of board games. A lot of them tend to be quite dated, though. I don't think I've ever played Monopoly. I like, well, I like games I can play by myself. But I think my favorite's Mancala. Oh, but I also like checkers. And chess, I suppose. I like Chinese checkers quite a bit. What's a comfort food of mine? I think maybe fruits. I like strawberries. I also like to eat them with whipped cream or chocolate. I think those might be a go-to. But usually the comfort I get out of food is preparing it. So if I need a comfort food, I'm likely to make cupcakes or something. Yes, I do feel like food can be quite romantic if you put your mind to it. I always think of it as such. Do I get along with my coworkers? Absolutely not. They are a bit too friendly with me. I don't really care for it. I try to avoid them if I can, and I don't talk to them outside of work. I feel a little bad, though. They do seem like they want to get to know me better, but I'm just not interested. Especially the receptionist, Mr. Miller. He likes to spark up conversations with me quite a bit. I tend to avoid him anytime I can. Despite it being, a doctor's office, seems like everyone is quite friendly. It's interesting. I would have expected it to be more professional. Well, I will do my best to keep track of what I eat. I know I should probably be eating more than I do. Yeah, you did feed me on Valentine's Day, and that was quite embarrassing too. But I guess it wasn't too bad. Well, I know I don't like being spoiled myself, but I would love cooking for someone else. Yes, Miller is quite a specimen. He always reminds me to call him by his first name, Leo, but I rarely ever do. I don't want to give him the idea that I want to get closer to him. He's always inviting me to spend time with him and some of my other coworkers. And while I appreciate the offers, it gets quite irritating after a while. Yes, cooking can be quite dangerous. I would rather not leave anybody to it unattended. Am I cute? I'm not sure I would say that about myself. Perhaps you, but not me. Are my coworkers same age range as you? I think I might be one of the younger ones in the office. I think everybody else might be 30 or older. But I think Mr. Miller, he might be closer to my age. That might be why he's so friendly towards me. The cute one. That is an interesting way to describe him. But yes, he tends to stop by my office quite a bit to mess with me. Honestly, he always has something to say. And it's never anything good. You would think for someone as smart as him, he would know how to keep his mouth shut. And he's very good at his job, don't get me wrong. He gets along with the patients very well. He is a good person to have at the front desk. He's a good person to have to see when you first walk in. Anything beyond that, I'd rather not be involved with. I think calling me sweet might be a stretch. I try to be polite, but I don't know if I'm, well, worthy of a compliment like that. Is Miller single? I wouldn't know. I don't like to talk to him. I would assume so, though, given that he's always trying to go out. Do I have a favorite constellation? I don't think so, but I do enjoy being able to see the planets. I like trying to find them when they're most visible. How should I explain it? It's strange. I try not to focus on the individual stars. I don't like noticing patterns. So, I try to make sure I don't pay that close attention to it. That way it doesn't feel like I'm looking at the same sky every time. If that makes sense. Do I want kids? Absolutely not. I do not like dealing with children at all, and I definitely wouldn't want to deal with one of my own. I'm sure it might be, well, not as bad as it looks, but at the same time, from what I have seen from children, it seems to spike a lot of different problems within me. I don't think I could handle it. Do I like pillows? Yes, very much so. I have quite a bit of them. I don't have them all on my bed, but I do like buying pillows. I also like making them too. And then I have a lot of soft blankets too. I like smooth surfaces. And I also like being completely covered too. So I tend to buy quite thick comforters. I I like being warm, despite always trying to keep things cool. I do like covering up. Do I want you? Of course. Pillow fort. I don't think I've ever made one. It does seem like a bit of a childish activity, but I'm sure it would be interesting. Actually, now that I think about it, I did used to do something like that when I was younger. I had, a, well, a table in my room, small nightstand kind of a table, and I had a blanket draped over it. So sometimes I would hide under it when I was upset. I don't do it anymore, but sometimes I do get the urge to. Yes, he is the coworker who likes to come into my office. thank you, Saga, for spreading my business the way he does. What would happen if I walked in on my dear changing? That would certainly be a startling situation. Chances are I would just leave them be, though I would feel incredibly guilty. Though, well, if it were the other way around, that would be interesting. Though I guess there wouldn't be too much for me to worry about, given I always get dressed in the dark. What type of toys did I receive when I was younger? Well, as upsetting as it was, I didn't really have many. Most of the things that I owned were things I put together myself. I was always interested in crafts, but I never dedicated myself to it. So I would buy things like pipe cleaners and just regular crafting things, popsicle sticks, cotton balls. I would glue stuff together and I would just have little knickknacks around my room. But as for actual toys, I never really had that many. And I didn't really watch television either. I still don't. I only have a television in my house for Sherbet. It's a little embarrassing, but honestly, I think he knows how to use it better than I do. Walk in, you would watch. That's a bit much. I don't think I could handle that. Again, it would be a little difficult given I get dressed in the dark. But even then, I would probably be more surprised than you were. Yes, I did enjoy crafts, to an extent. Again, I hated having to get myself dirty, so using glue was never fun. But a lot of the times I wouldn't even use glue. I would just, collect the crafts and leave them loose. Ah, would I trust Starling with sharp things? Well, maybe not around me. It, given I don't even trust myself with sharp things, I don't think I'd be able to handle it very well. Though, I would be interested in watching someone else, so given it's not something I can do myself. Ah, that is good to have comfort items. I don't think I have that many. I know I consider my earring to be one, because it was given to me by a certain special person. Let's see. Oh, I have a metal puzzle. One of those brain teasers. The ones where you have to spend a lot of time trying to get them untangled. I like those. I like the sound it makes, too. I also have a kalimba. I like playing that sometimes. I forgot to mention that when I mentioned the piano, but I'm not very good at playing the kalimba, even though it is pretty much the same as playing a piano, just a different format. And I also have a music box. I enjoy that quite a bit too. Yes, I did say. But my favorite animals are cats. And I pretty much enjoy most quiet pets, but outside of pets, I like pandas and cows. Cross stitch is very interesting to me. It seems very tedious, and I'm not sure if I would be able to do it. My hands shake quite a bit. But I do really like how they look. Yes, kalimbas are fun. They sound very nice. I guess I like things that sound natural. Instruments that, aren't very distorted or anything. I like pure sounds. Do I sing? I do. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I don't really do it around other people very often. Chances are if someone overhears me, I will stop immediately. Can be a little difficult though, because I tend to hum to myself while I'm, preoccupied with something else, and I don't usually notice it until someone points it out. Bass guitars are nice. They have a very, how should I say? I don't want to say soft, but a clean sound to them. Let's see. If deer sang in the shower, would I listen? I'm not sure. Perhaps, maybe. I would feel bad if it made them upset, though. Though, I do like the idea of hearing other people sing, especially someone who is so important to me. Do I play video games? No, I am not very good at them. A lot of them tend to make me pretty anxious. I'm not very good with technology in general. I have quite a lot of trouble doing anything that doesn't revolve around my computer at work. Do I watch you sleep? I try not to. I don't want to stare when, you can't see me. Plus, I would like you to know if I'm looking at you. But I, well, I can't help but glance over every now and again. Well, I don't do too well with loud noises, but that would be interesting. Would I join? I know I joke about it sometimes, but I think it would actually make me quite nervous to join someone in the shower. Though it seems like it might be enjoyable. How long have I been an eye doctor? Let's see. I think. Let me see. I think about 3 years, technically. I've been, I was an assistant while I was still in med school, though. So I think it's been about 5 years, maybe, since I've been working in an office. And yes, I enjoy my job very much. Wouldn't have dedicated 8 years of school to it if I didn't. Sewing seems like it would be fun, but it's definitely not for me. My hands shake too much, and I don't like holding a sharp object. Plus, it tends to be quite tedious, and I don't want to have to use a sewing machine. That's too much dedication. Plus, it's quite loud, too. Uh, my favorite pillow are you. Well, a pillow can be replaced, but you can't. So I think that answer is pretty obvious. Would I dye my hair a different color? I don't think so. I feel like maybe at some point I should make it more unified. My roots are, in fact, showing, but I don't think having my natural hair color show with my hair being this long would look that good. What do I appreciate most about Sherbet? He's a very naturally kind person. He's very pure and genuine with his feelings. He can be a little bit, airheaded, and he spaces out a lot, but he always has pure intentions. I think that's just one of his natural charms. Yeah, I dislike my own body for a large number of reasons. I'm not really quite ready to show it to anybody yet. Any other comfort foods besides chocolate? Nothing specifically. I think it all just depends on my mood. But yeah, my go-to foods are fruits if I need some sort of comfort through food. I think because they are sweet, but not too sweet. I don't feel overwhelmed when I eat them. My darling was to wear something tight, but I look. Well, it's hard not to look at them, but I suppose if they wore it with the intention of showing me, I would do my best to give it my attention. Ugh. How often do I have to pick up Sherbet? A lot. Multiple times a week, usually. He has a habit of taking long walks and then not taking the walk back into consideration. So he will walk for a few hours, then realize he doesn't know how to get home. So he'll call me through his necklace, and I have to go driving in the middle of the night looking for him, which looks incredibly suspicious. Imagine seeing a fully dressed grown man driving slowly through a neighborhood. But I don't mind doing it. It's the thought of Sherbet and my darling meeting make me nervous. Yes, incredibly so. I love Sherbet dearly, but he has a bit of a problem with his filter. He doesn't really think about what he says before he says it. Yes, technically, but I wasn't really happy with that. Plus, I ended up not taking it off all the way either. I just kind of unbuttoned it, got about halfway, and then passed out, I think. It's not something I like to think about. No, I like the idea of someone touching my hair. Someone close to me, at least. It's a nice feeling to have someone with their hands in my hair. Kind of like being pat on the head. It's a nice, gentle feeling. I like it. Plus, I tend to do it to them too quite a bit anytime I hold them, so I feel like it's only right for me to let them do it to me too. Oh, and yes, everyone here is beautiful, whether they think so or not. I love you all. Was I nervous about taking them home? Yes, quite a bit. It took me a long time to work up the courage to speak to them that way. I do still feel pretty bad about it. But I think where we are now is pretty okay. What would I do if I came home and found them and Sherbet cuddling? I'm not sure. I know Sherbet would have pure intentions, but somehow I think I'd be a little upset. Probably a bit jealous. Am I worried about someone looking for them? Yes, honestly. But I don't want them to have to worry about that. So I do what I can to make sure that they're comfortable. And they don't have to worry about anything outside of my house. But I already did call you mister. Please try not to ask too much of me. Uh, how did I carry them to bed? It was difficult. As I said, I'm not very strong. Even a light person, my weight or under, I might still have a bit of trouble. But I managed well enough to get them into my house without them being harmed. I've crushed the car. Well, I guess that is in reference to that one comment I make. Or I made that day. It was quite bold of me to say that. any lingering fears. I I want to think I can put my trust in them. I don't want to think that they would try to do anything that would upset me. I still have a lot of problems with being able to trust people that way. But I I guess my feelings are strong enough that I want to have faith. So I want to believe in them. Uh, am I sweet? I'm not sure I can agree with that. What if they drank it? I don't think I would have let them. If they had tried to put it anywhere too close to their face, I think I might have freaked out a little bit. Which would have been quite dangerous considering I was the one driving. I I don't want to think about if they did betray me. I'm not sure if I would be able to handle it. I'm not exactly sure how I would respond to it, but considering I've never put this much trust in someone before, I think I would be damaged. Yeah, I do apologize for the April Fool's video. That was, well, I don't really have many excuses for it. I'll let Saga deal with the blame. That is quite the dirty trick. I might have to watch out for you with that one. When I first talked about Sherwood, I thought you were talking about a cat. Well, yeah. Even if he were a real cat, though. Not to say that he isn't, but if he weren't, humanoid, I would probably still address him the way I do. I don't want him to think he's any lesser of a person, because he's a little different. But even if he were just a cat, I'd probably still treat him like a person. How do I feel about next April Fools? Well, the thought of someone switching out my sugar and salt is definitely uncomfortable. I already pay so close attention to the things in my house. Somehow I feel a little more anxious knowing that I would have to watch even closer. Granted, I do tend to be quite attentive when I'm cooking, so I don't think it would be too bad. I would probably notice the moment I opened it that it wasn't the right one. Would I kill for you? That's a loaded question. But I suppose I could consider doing some dark things for you. My love language. Well, I tend to speak a lot through my posture. I'm very visibly anxious a lot of the time. So I would say I speak a lot through movement. That might also be why I enjoy hugs and cuddling the way I do, but only when I'm ready for them. You would never hurt me, huh? That is reassuring. Thank you. I would never use a gun. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. I definitely wouldn't hold one, though. I have other ways of dealing with things. Well, considering how much I ramble, I would love to listen to someone else talk for once. Especially if it is something you are passionate about. Oh, what if they spoke other languages? That would be fun, considering that I don't speak any other ones. I know a little bit of sign language, but that's about it. So, I feel like it would be fascinating to hear someone else speak another language with me. Ah, well, feel free to keep asking. I'm not sure how long I will keep streaming. Maybe for about 20 more minutes? It has been quite a while. What is my weapon of choice? I suppose I don't really think about it. It depends on what I need it for. Well, I suppose I can't use something that's too heavy. After all, I'm not strong, but it does need to be something blunt enough for me to work with. Yes, most calico cats are female. He's a very unique cat. Ah, welcome back. I'm not sure if there are any languages that I would like to learn. A lot of them seem interesting to me, but I have a bit of trouble when it comes to learning languages. Moss is fun. I enjoy creeks, so I enjoy small creeks. Ponds and such. They are alright. Still bodies of water don't bother me as much. I like quiet areas. axes seem like that might be a bit much. Definitely too sharp for me, and probably too heavy, too. Would I let them draw on my arms? Probably not. I I don't let my arms show to anybody. Finger guns, like the L shape, pointing. How would I hide the body? I'm not sure if that's something I should have to consider right now. I do. I very much like the smell of rain. I also like the smell of grass after it's been cut. Very natural scents, I find to be pretty enjoyable. Moths are cute. I don't like, well, I don't like them being in my general vicinity, but I do like the way they look. They're interesting. I like butterflies too. What if they got really clingy? Well, I I can't say I would mind it, per se. I tend to be quite clingy myself. If they needed the attention, I wouldn't mind giving it to them. Yes, perhaps not going into detail about murder would be best. Axolotls are cute. I guess I don't mind them so much because people tend to have them as pets. I'm not too big on sea creatures, but they are pretty cute. Would I skip work? I assume you mean skip work for you. Well, I try not to skip work if I can. But if I really needed to, I suppose I could call out. It can be a little difficult calling out of my job, though. What if they trap me in bed with Cuddles, huh? Well, I suppose I would have to fend them off eventually, but I guess I could indulge, at least for a little while. Rain on different surfaces is very interesting. It can smell quite differently depending on the environment. I tend to smell rain on cement when I'm at work in the parking lot. It's interesting. I prefer when it's not humid. I like when it's cool, because that way I can smell it a little better and it doesn't feel as suffocating. Could you take care of me when I'm sick? Well, I'd be afraid of getting you sick as well, but... perhaps feeling weak then. That wouldn't be too bad. I guess I wouldn't mind being taken care of, just a little. Ah, but you still wouldn't be able to cook for me. I'd have to do that with you. Do I ever pass out due to my eating habits? Well, occasionally. It doesn't happen too often, but I can't say it's not something I deal with on a regular. Usually I'm able to keep myself from fully fainting, but I am still pretty prone to fainting for other reasons too. Have I had a good birthday? I think so far it has been pretty fun. I've never gotten a chance to talk to you all this way, I don't think. So, I think this was an enjoyable new experience. I'll give myself about 10 more minutes before I end it. What if they passed out in front of me? Do you mean fall asleep or faint? I think it would make me very nervous if they were to black out in front of me. But I would do my best to handle it. After all, Sherbet has asked to do that with me a few times. A few times too many. Cheesy pickup lines. I've never really been good with doing things like that. I'm not the best at flirting either. But I'm not sure how they would go being used on me. I don't think anybody's ever tried. A dad joke. I'm not sure if I know any. I'm not very good at telling jokes. Oh, what? I don't think I understand. I'll pretend I didn't see that. Can I catch you when you fall for me? Well, considering I couldn't even catch myself when I fell for you, I can't say that I would be reliable. If you could change the alphabet, you'd put you and I together. That seems impractical. Yes, I definitely have never used a pickup line before. I've never tried doing that to anybody. Are you at double because you're tempting me? I don't know how I feel about that. Aside from taking my breath away, what do you do for a living? These are some very creative lines. I'm not sure if I can retaliate. I lost my phone number. Can I have yours? Which one, my cell or my house? You were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. I don't think that's accurate. Do you happen to have a band-aid? Because I scraped my knees falling for you. Well, I suppose I could take care of you, but only this once. To heaven comments back to back. That is very, very generous of you, considering how not religious I am to assume that I would have any association with heaven. I don't know much about religion, but are you trying to indirectly call me God? Tie your shoelaces. I don't want you to fall for anyone else. Trust me, I am yours and only yours. That is a very interesting way to get someone's contact information. But I can assure you, considering how awful I am with technology, there is a good chance that one might have worked on me. I'm not an artist because I was good at drawing you in. That's a little worrisome. But I'm glad I could entice you so. Oh, I love you too, of course. Alright, we're in the home stretch. Be sure to give me any last-minute questions you have before I end it. I've been streaming for quite a while, of course. Please, these lines are getting a bit too intense. Could I sing for you? Well, I get a bit nervous with an audience. But I promise you, you will get to hear me sing at some point in time soon. Alright, let's see. Turn that down a bit. Alright, since things have slowed down, I think this is a good place to end the stream. Let's see how smooth my goodbye will be. Oh, let's see. Alrighty. Okay. Well, I think this went pretty well. We got to learn quite a bit about each other. I'm fairly happy with the result. I think this was a fairly fun stream. I do look forward to doing it again, too. I'm not sure when the next time will be, but I suppose we will have to see. Let's see. I would like to thank you all for coming, once again. I'm very happy to be in your presence, and happy that you could be in my company. Let's see. Oh, and of course, while there was supposed to be a video for today, it is probably going to be late, per usual to Saga's upload schedule. But I will make sure that it does get done. but I do hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hopefully I did not waste too much of your time. Yes, I hope you all rest well. Thank you once again, and I will see you soon. So take care, alright? I love you.